Senior Rotax Heat 2, the grid positions on your screen now. They are the grid positions from the results of Heat 1 earlier. Jack Hayes-Roberts was the winner from Robbie Rathbone, Harding, Ozanne, Merica, Morris, Spencer Stevens, Kinder and Jay Pearson, rounding out the top 10 in the earlier heat. Rest of the grid, 15 in total. Looks like this. It is Zach Balker from Mark Gilley on row 7. Adam Cerner, Ewan McQueen and Michael Adamczyk rounding out the grid. Here we go then. And that's the pole man. That is Jack Hayes-Roberts. He's been turned round, a little bit of contact. We'll have another look in slow motion in just a minute. I'm not sure. Looks like he was trying to create room for himself to go as wide as possible and didn't give a lot of room to the man on the outside who was Robbie Rathbone. Let's have a look. So Rathbone on the right, Hayes-Roberts on the left, trying to give himself room. And just side-by-side contact. Welcome back to Hooton Park. You rejoin us at the start of the third tour, end of lap 2. You can see that Jack Hayes-Roberts is down in 15th place after that early contact going through the start line. I'm not sure what to make of it really. I don't think Robbie Rathbone had much room to work with there. I think it was just side-by-side contact, and in this case Jack Hayes-Roberts has come off worse, and certainly listened to the officials on the radio. I think that's the way they viewed it, a pure racing incident. This is the battle for 4th place. That's Louis Merica, Troy Spencer and Josh Morris. 4th, 5th and 6th. The leaders going through. There's Rathbone, Harding and Ozanne. Ozanne sets the fastest lap. 35.042. Rounding out the top 10, we've got Mackenzie Stevens, Callan Kinder in 8th and Jay Pearson 9th, with Mark Gilley now up to 10th place. We come up to Hooton Hairpin one more time. Again, the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th raging. Merica Spencer and Josh Morris we're getting a good look at in this one through the double apex. On the return straight up to the Wilson S's. Here they come one more time. Sliding through the S's there was Louis Merica. Looks like he's a little bit loose on the back end of that cart. Fastest lap again by Paul Ozanne, 35.718. I said it before, earlier on, didn't I, that if he gets close enough, he'll have a dive up the inside. He won't just sit there and wait. He's not quite close enough there, as you can see them going up into the hairpin. I'll tell you who is getting closer, and that's Mackenzie Stevens, a man in 7th place. So we've got 4, 5, 6 and 7. There you go. Mackenzie Stevens on the back of this little group now, but certainly close enough, if good enough, to have a go, and we know that he is. Robbie Rathbone, by the way, leading this heat, can win the championship this weekend if results go his way, and I'm expecting if he ends up on pole or P2, 10 points for pole, 9 points for P2, and then he finishes 1st or 2nd in the race, that will certainly be good enough. You had a quick look there at Mackenzie Stevens' information. The man from Lichfield in Staffordshire, now the fastest man on the track, as the 68 car of Josh Morris goes for a move on Troy Spencer, can't get it done, and taking advantage out of Hooton Hairpin down to the double apex is Mackenzie Stevens himself. So sets the fastest lap on the last lap and makes up a place on this one. That drops Josh Morris back one, so Mackenzie Stevens now moves into 6th. Morris is 7th, Callan Kinder still there in 8th from Pearson and Mark Gilley, rounding out the top 10. The leading 3 drivers, as you can see them just going through the picture. That's Rathbone from Harding and Ozanne, and this is that battle as Mackenzie Stevens giving the think about it signal as Josh Morris tries to go up the inside of him to take that place back from him. Why wouldn't he? Mackenzie Stevens, by the way, 4th in the championship coming into this weekend. Jack Hayes-Roberts, who's now up a place to 14th at the back of the field. He is in 2nd place, but the way things are panning out here, this is not going to go the way he wanted this weekend. He's going to be down the grid in the final. Well, I'm saying down the grid, he could still be possibly on the front 2 rows, so he doesn't have to give up the ghost yet. He doesn't have to concede the title to Robbie Rathbone, but Rathbone going into that final race here today, if he does end up on the front row, he'll know exactly what he needs to do, and that will be to basically just look at the points. Yeah, it will be to finish in front of Jack Hayes-Roberts on the road in the final, and if he does that, that should be enough to secure Robbie the title. He's a high quality performer, very popular in the paddock, Robbie, easy to get on with. Tries to help people as much as he possibly can. There's a lot of friendship in the paddock here at Hooton Park, which is unusual, let's be honest, for karting generally and kart drivers specifically. We're looking at the battle here for 10th place. This is Jack Hayes-Roberts on the recovery, up the inside of Mark Gilly on the 18 kart. The 88 kart makes his way past, and I think he's made up 2 places. That's for the 10th position. So he should be 10th when he goes through the line. Yeah, that is Jack Hayes-Roberts coming down to the line, and there you go. He's gone through the line in 10th. So Zach Bowker's made up a place on that lap as well. Mark Gilly dropped a couple. Adam Cerner and Michael Adamczyk in the mix as well. I think Ewan McQueen is gone. I think he's had an issue somewhere. With Jack Hayes-Roberts' result in the first heat, finished first obviously, even for 10th here, I think he will end up in probably something like P4 potentially. Last lap now as they go through the line. It is Rathbone, Harding and Ozan. America, Spencer, Stevens, Morris and Kinder, nothing between them. Don't forget Callum Kinder, by the way. He's on old tyres, Callum Kinder. Now, I did say at the beginning of the season, you can still be competitive on old tyres. There were people that slated me for making such a ridiculous comment. But I can tell you that the fastest man on the track at the moment is Jack Hayes-Roberts, 35.703, and Callum Kinder, 35.758. So what, 500ths of a second or so, something like that? As we see Robbie Rathbone taking the win in Heat 2, Curtis Harding through the second, Paul Ozan settles for third this time, then comes Spencer, Stevens, Merrick and Morris Kinder, and then Jay Pearson and Jack Hayes-Roberts goes through the line. We'll get the confirmation of that on screen sometime very soon. Here it is. Not necessarily the most exciting race we've seen today so far, but the final still to come promises much. Robbie Rathbone, the winner from Harding, Ozan, Spencer, who made up 3 places. Mackenzie Stevens finished 5th, he made up 3 too. The big loser there, of course, Jack Hayes-Roberts, started on pole, early incident, loses 9 places in that race.